All right, welcome to Rapid Fire Manufacturing. Today I'm with Al Whatmough. He is a expert in anything CNC machining, automation, and just overall making processes run smoother. Al, thank you so much for taking the time to join me today.
Thank you. It seems kind of silly hearing you say I'm an expert in anything manufacturing. I know experts in manufacturing. I don't think I am the expert.
That's something an expert would say. That's a good response.
Good.
You ready to jump into the first question here?
Sure, fire away.
So, with your experience for CNC machining and automation, what do you see as the next big trend that's going to help shape the future of manufacturing?
Next big trend. This is going to sound a little funny. I'm shooting off the cuff here, especially given that I'm working at an AI company. It's the current trend, and you might say IoT was the last trend. And I'll jokingly say the IoT trend produced a bunch of vanity dashboards, and the AI trend is capable of producing more scrap faster. To me, maybe it's not the trend, the challenge is how do we connect together all these solved problems? I think any one of the independently solved problems we've maybe taken a little too far, but there's an opportunity now for all these problems that have been solved to come back together and connect them, whether that's in the software world. So in the software world, how do you have an understanding of what the machine's doing connected with some AI technology and some proven toolpath kernel technology? If you're talking about on the shop floor, the trend I would say is similar. When I go to the machine open houses, no longer is the application engineer preparing for the trade show to make sure the 5-axis machine is cutting something. Now you're seeing them there with a robot loading cell and maybe a piece of measurement equipment next to the machine. So in the physical world, it's the same thing. How do you connect together a bunch of technologies? That to me is the challenge. I hope it becomes a trend. But the challenge, sort of the exciting thing for us to do, is to connect these solved problems together. And to me, it's very pragmatic and it's just work, which makes it a lot more inspiring for me.
Now, how would someone go about implementing some of these technologies to improve, efficiency without sacrificing some of the quality?
That's a good question. I think it's a different answer for different people, depending. I think largely depending on your high mix, low volume, high mix sort of problems, right? Certainly in higher volume situations, you want a closer loop with things like on machine inspection to make sure you're not just producing scrap at a more alarming rate. In the higher mix, lower volume, I think it has more to do with repeatable, consistent work holding. So 0-point fixturing's kind of good examples. What are the ways that you can pragmatically use some of the current technologies to make parts of the problem repeatable? Because that's what it all boils down to, is focus on repeatability over speed. Again, being a personal opinion, I think that's what the wave of IoT and dashboards telling you what your spindle uptime was got people a little too focused on how quickly can I make something as opposed to process reliability. But the answer of how is focus on process reliability.
So,
Am I
what would
answering
be
your
a
question or am I
strategy for that?
avoiding it?
No, no. Yeah, what would be a process strategy that you can implement to, I guess, reduce some of those, or to make it a repeatable product?
So a pragmatic example. Yeah, try and think of it. The 0-point fixturing is one that I should be an obvious
Yeah,
one that I don't think everybody's using. That's an obvious one. And then you have some interesting technologies. You talked about this podcast starting at IMTS. In the physical world, think of stuff like lights out manufacturing created an adjustable, a programmable vise that can adjust to different sizes. So I'd say that's sort of a pragmatic way of having something repeatable, but also more flexible. Gimbal automation, I suppose, is another good example of a step forward that doesn't require a robot, but you can extend the repeatability you can do there. When you talk about our software is trying to automate simply answering the question, is this a good part that fits my shop? And to me, that's what a shop needs to do, is get good at saying no to the things that don't fit within their realm of expertise, and yes to the things that do. The first thing we've done in our product is just simply tell you, is this a part I can make with my current tooling? So if you can repeatably make something at a high quality with your current tooling, you want to drive more things through your machine that you're good at and expand what you're good at. Did I pick on some good examples? I hope I'm not
Yeah.
wandering too much.
Now I'm curious too, like how does that work with your company? How do you figure out which tools are, I guess, which parts should be made?
Well, that part's quite a bit easier. It's a natural byproduct of the automation software we're building. You could say we're building full self-driving. The idea is to be able to fully automate programming a machine. It's got many cases where if it was a car, it would be hitting curbs and driving through stop signs. So we're not ready to have it be driverless yet, but it's good enough that it can try and program the part and say, well, this isn't machinable with my current tools, because the way the automation works is, here's my list of tools, go program the part, and the answer is I can or I can't, right? If you can't program it with your tools, then we can recommend what tools you might need. And it also sort of has this natural byproduct of being what looks like a DFM tool. It's not. If there's a square corner in the part, it says that it's not machinable, not because it identified a square corner, but because there's not a tool capable of cutting a square corner. And so I suppose those are some pragmatic ways that we're leveraging our automation to deliver some nearer term repeatable results. So that kind of brings it full circle. We've solved a bigger problem. What part of that problem gives repeatably good results? Estimating and DFM. So that's the bit that we've released to market first, even though we're trying to push things on the other end.
Well, that's
Does that
awesome.
make
It's a
sense?
lot of yeah, no, absolutely. It's a lot of exciting stuff you're doing, and I can't wait to see the full autonomous version, like you said. That's going to be awesome.
The full it's sort of funny though. The full autonomous version is just we're just moving the goalpost. Let's say, for example, we fully automated programming 3-axis machines. Well, what did I just tell you about what all the application engineers are doing at open houses? They're focused on how does the robot take the part out of that and get it into the measurement machine. And so that's the human problem just keeps moving forward as the automation problem automates the challenges of today. We're going to get to tomorrow and say we automated what we did yesterday, but it's not like we all get to sit on our hands and say job done. There's just a kind of a higher order problem now.
Right. Always something else, like you said, moving the goalpost keeps moving, so you're just chasing after it.
Which is what makes this exciting. There's all kinds of like pragmatic things we can do to automate the mundane of today. And that means there's a whole lot of new challenges and opportunities for tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well, and that concludes the show. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more experts like Al, and keep pushing the limits in manufacturing. Thanks, Al.
Cheers.